So in this mini movement series, we are going to start off with some full body stretches. We're going to get a little bit into our hip flexors, and then we're going to move into some good mornings and some lunges. And we're going to pair that with a little bit of core work with some mountain climbers, which are also going to get our heart rate going a little bit. So let's get started. And we're going to start doing some good mornings to strengthen the back of our legs. So go ahead and put your hands behind your head and hinge back from the hips. We're going to be doing 10. And as you do your good mornings, remember that you want your knees over your ankles. That's 8. So that you're feeling this in the back of your legs. That's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do some lunges. So we're going to step forward with one leg, and then if we can get our knees to touch the ground, and then you're going to push back up and then go backwards with that same leg. So we're going to do 5 on each side. That was 1. Step forward. Step back. That's 2. Forward and back. Now, if you want to have some fun, you can see if you can not put your foot down when you go through this swing. It's hard. And this is going to be our last lunge on this side. And now we're going to just do the other side. So we're going to step forward and back. And again, if you are touching your foot to the ground here, totally fine. If you are doing this a little bit slower than I am, that's totally fine too. Oh. 3 more. And if you are not getting your knee all the way towards the ground, like if you're lunging forward and you're keeping your knee over your ankle in this lunge and your back knee is not necessarily touching the ground, totally okay too. So this is going to be our last one on this side. Whatever is the most comfortable for you and you can feel in your practice, that's totally okay. The point is to get moving, get this blood flowing. Okay, so now from our lunges, we're going to step back into plank pose, everybody's favorite, and we're going to do a mountain climber pyramid. So we're going to do 30 mountain climbers, do some more lunges, 20 mountain climbers, do some more lunges, 10 mountain climbers, do some more lunges. Okay, so with your mountain climbers, you're in your plank position, so there is a line between your heels, your hips, and your head, and you're going to bring your knee towards your chest. Okay, so that was 1, that's 2, we'll go a little bit faster, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Oh, can't wait to listen to the sound of the microphone hitting my face. Okay, lunges, up and back. So we're going to count down from 5. That was 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Now we're going to switch sides. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Come back down to your plank pose. The most fun about talking during ab work is that you sound ridiculous and it's hard to do. Alright, 20 mountain climbers. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Another set of lunges. All right, we're going forward and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. For 5, 4, 3, 2, last one for this set. All right, final plank pose for the set. We're coming into our plank pose. We're checking in with our heels, our hips, and our head. We're doing 10 mountain climbers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Okay, this is the 5-minute mark. If you only have 5 minutes to move, great. If you have a few more minutes, let's keep going. The first thing we're going to do is a forward fold. So this is going to stretch our hamstrings. Inhale up. Exhale. Bring your belly closer to your thighs for that stretch in the back of your legs. Inhale up. Exhale, try not to hit your bike that you keep inside on a trainer. Inhale up. Exhale, last fold. Now you're going to take your right leg, let's just start with forward, and we're going to come down so that our left knee is touching the ground. So I'll move to the side, and then we're going to just move our hips forward closer to this back foot. Now, it's okay if your knee goes over your ankle a little bit because we're trying to stretch out this area here with our hip flexors. Okay, go ahead and switch legs so you can get into that other hip flexor. All right, and then go ahead and stand up. We're going to start with some calf stretches and quad stretches. We're going to get into our ankles a little bit. So for a calf stretch, you want to bring your toes closer to your shins. And you can do this either in a downward facing dog or a lunge position. What we really want is our back heel to stay on the ground. So if this is like you here and you're like, this is as much as it stretches, fine. If it's out here, great. If it's out here, great. You want your heel on the ground. If this is really difficult and you never stretch your calves, go ahead and turn towards a wall. Put your toes against the wall, and then lean your body towards that wall, right? So, looks like this, which is silly to show on camera, on the same side that I started on. So your heel is going to be on the floor, and you're going to be pushing that heel into the floor to get into the back of your calf. Stretching our calves is something that I see people who sit at desks overlook, people who run around and our athletes overlook. And a lot of the rest of our, what is called the kinetic chain, the rest of our body, the rest of our movement, so much of this comes from our ankle strength and mobility. You'll also probably feel it in your ankle. And if this is too easy for you and you're like, I'm one of those people who does stretch my calves, you can go ahead and lean forward more. Or if this is within your practice, you can just take your hands all the way to the ground. Keep this heel on the floor. Now, if you do have your hands on the ground and you don't know what to do with your other leg, I like just resting on top of the one that I'm stretching. Okay. I'm going to come to the other side. So now my right heel is on the floor, and I'm really driving down my weight through the back of this heel, and I'm thinking a lot about this heel being on the ground so I can feel this through my calves. So from here, go ahead and come down. We're going to do a quad stretch. You can do this standing, or you can do it sitting. Take your foot in one of your hands, and you're going to bring your heel closer to your butt. Be careful that you're not just like resting all of your weight on your knee, and you can do this by placing your hand on the wall next to you and physically lifting this foot up, or moving this leg back a little bit so that your weight is on the front of your quad instead of on the knee joint itself. All right, we're going to do that on the other side. Picking up my right leg this time. Now, we were talking about stretching our calves and how much that is going to impact like the rest of the movements that we make, and how a lot of that comes from our ankles. And so a lot of people also do not stretch out their feet. So what we're going to do is from our seated position, we're going to curl our toes under. We're going to sit back on our heels. And you might think, yes, I fucking did it. I found an exercise that involves sitting. I have news for you. If you go to a yoga class, there's a pose that just involves lying flat on the ground. So if this is something that's new to you, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it in your feet. Now, we want to make sure that we get the other side of our feet too. Our feet have two sides. And so right now, when we have our toes curled underneath us and we're sitting on our heels, this is stretching like the arches of our feet, so the underneath side of our feet. Now, we want to stretch the upper part of our feet. And so what we're going to do now, uncurl our toes and come up onto them like this a little bit. If you have yoga blocks and you want to put them under your hands here, that's a great idea. If you have like a chair and you want to put your hands on that, you can do that too. But essentially, your hands are on the ground and you're pushing through the tops of your feet. You're going to feel this a lot in your ankles. So I'm going to come up a little bit more. Stretching your feet, strengthening your ankles is going to help strengthen the rest of your body. If those movements were like really tough, keep working on them. If you felt like they were simple, then congratulations. You did a really simple exercise. It's making you so strong. Okay, from here, we're going to do a little bit of back bends to strengthen our back and also stretch out our abs, the front of our body. So if you go to yoga classes, it's called camel pose. Go ahead and bring your arms up and then take your hands to the small of your back so that your fingertips are pointing towards your butt and the palm of your hands is closer to your shoulders. And you're just gonna push your hips forward. And you can think of this as the hands in the small of your back physically pushing your hips forward. Now, if you're familiar with camel pose and you want to, you can bring your hands to your heels. And if this is something that's familiar to you, continue to think about pushing your hips forward. It's very easy if you have a flexible back and you do this. Once you put your hands on your heels, at least for me, it's so easy to just be like, oh, I'm just going to rest. And I'm not going to actively push my hips forward. Okay, from here, we're going to do some side bends. So inhale, and you're just going to come over to the right-hand side. However far deep you go, like, again, if you stretch a lot, you might be like, wow, I'm a little crescent moon. But if you're just like, wow, I never do side bends, the point is to not, like, bring your arms closer to the ground. The point is to stretch out the side of your body. So however deep that is for you, think about keeping your chest open. And it's not about how far you lean over, it's about how much you are bringing a bend into that side body. All right, from here we're going to do some hip bridges, strengthening that posterior chain today. We're going to lie down, and you want your fingertips to be able to touch your heels, and you're going to ground your heels into the ground. You're going to lift your toes up a little bit, and then you're going to lift your hips up, and we're going to do 30 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is the halfway point for this round of hip bridges. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, those hip bridges are part of a pyramid, so move yourself to the other side. We are going to hold a plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Stay here, and we're going to go straight into push-ups. We're going to do 6 of these. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back onto your back. We now have 20 hip bridges. Check in, make sure you can touch your heels with the tips of your fingers. Make sure that your hair is not going into your mouth. Toes up. For 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Roll over, plank pose. Now, if you want to do this on your knees, you totally can. Just make sure, even if you are on your knees, you have that straight line between whatever's touching the ground, your hips, and your head. All right, we're doing a plank for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4 push-ups this time. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, final set of hip bridges. We have 10, and we're doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, this is the last plank. You're so excited. For 10, 9, check in with your hips. Make sure that your heels, your hips, and your head are all in a straight line. 4, 3, 2 push-ups. 1, 2. All right, that's it. You did it. That was your mini movement series for today. Go have a great rest of your day.